Hello, and welcome to the Tradeshift Sanctuary. I'm Travis Bickham, and Tradeshift is partnering with CNBC all throughout the World Economic Forum in Davos to bring you a week's worth of content with the foremost leaders and experts in their respective fields. I'm here with my friend, Stan Stalnaker, who is the founding director and chief strategy officer of Hub Culture. Welcome.
Travis.
I'm doing great. Glad to have you here.
Thanks.
So maybe we can start by just telling us a little bit about, what's your mission?
I work for a social network that's been around for a long time. We're going into our 15th year. And we've said for a long time, right on the very front page of the website, that our mission is to expand collective consciousness, which is not really a business mission per se, but we're a community, and that's the mission of our community. We do it through a network of tools and a kind of emergent ecosystem that we've been developing for a long time.
Absolutely. And obviously Davos is a great platform for that. Your space is amazing. I have to say I love it. Can you tell us a little bit about what this week meant to you and what all you were working on?
Yeah. This week was very important for me because this was actually my 10th anniversary in Davos.
Congratulations.
Our 8th year with the Hub Culture Davos Pavilion. And it's really been growing the last couple of years. We've been collaborating a lot with William McDonough, the architect, who's really the father of the cradle-to-cradle movement. And beginning last year, we debuted a new building on the roof of the Hub that is called the Ice House. And it stands for Innovation for the Circular Economy. And it's really the first building in the world to be completely recyclable and made of recycled materials. It's made entirely of aluminum and polycarbonate, which is basically plastic. So, aluminum cans and water bottles. But it's a beautiful gem of a building. And we debuted it last year, and then we sent it to Amsterdam, where it lived for the year, in the Hub for the Circular Economy in the Netherlands. And then we brought it back and reformed it this year. And what's amazing is that not only is it pretty much 100% recyclable, the only thing that's new this year in terms of the material composition are the carpet tiles that we spilled wine on last year. So it's a really wonderful example of what's possible for circular economy design and build. Right. And it's really inspired us as a company to really commit ourselves to, even as a technology company, to be part of the movement towards the circular economy.
Yeah, let's jump into that because you guys have obviously an incredible mission, but also a huge technology component. And I understand you've got something in the works that's pretty exciting. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, well, because we're a unique kind of social network, we're very dependent on technology. We launched the first real virtual currency in 2007 called VEN. And later we launched a digital identity system called Hub ID to service VEN. After that, we moved into blockchain auditing, which really just is in beta now. And off of that blockchain auditing lesson, we really started thinking about AI. And this week here in Davos, we announced Zeek, our new AI. Mm-hmm. And Zeek is the new AI we call it an emergent intelligence. So it's a little different from an artificial intelligence because it's emerging and it's going to be evolving over the coming months, leading up to its first two tasks.
Okay.
And so the two tasks are, first, it's going to host the world's first meeting of AIs. So we've identified, believe it or not, over 540 AIs that exist. And so our AI is going to invite those AIs to a meeting in the cloud. And then the AIs will have plus ones, who will be the humans. And the humans will observe.
Generous of them.
Yeah, maybe they'll get two. But the idea is that the humans will have an unstructured kind of conference around which the AIs are answering a set of 1,440 questions that will be posed over Twitter between now and the meeting. There are 1,440 minutes in a 24-hour day. So in building this experience, we've been trying to think like, if you're 20 years in the future and AIs are having meetings, which they undoubtedly will, but they'll probably be instantaneously executed and done. So not in the form that we're creating now. But if there were an AI to AI meeting, what would it look like? What would a meeting look like from the mind of a machine? And that's what we're really playing with here, is to create the first meeting of machines hosted by a machine. So in order to do that, we realized we had to build a machine, and that got us thinking about what that meant. And so what we've done over the last 6 months is evolve the voice of the social network so that the AI, Zeek, is able to use the communication that's coming from the members. Like if you make a VEN transaction or if you're doing something in the messaging side or the chat side of the platform, if there's any communication now, as of 5 days ago, it comes from the AI. So we have a kind of virtual concierge. And what's amazing is that all of the data from the Venn transactions, from the Hub ID, digital identities for both people as well as entities and bots, which we're building those networks, but also the kind of unstructured data, all that's going on to this blockchain. And so we're thinking this as the first blockchain brain. And Zeek is going to refer to that blockchain brain, and its decisions eventually will come from consensus, because blockchains, because of their distributed nature, obviously require consensus to clear a transaction. So in this case, instead of clearing a financial transaction, like the way Bitcoin does, we'd actually be clearing a kind of information transaction for either a response or a decision.
Okay. And you're a leader in this field, of course, and also in this community in Davos. So I want to get your take on the theme this year at the World Economic Forum, which is responsible and responsive leadership. How does that play into the goals that you're trying to accomplish and how you run Hub Culture?
Well, I had a really interesting experience this week. I think for me, it comes down to a single person who joined us this week at the pavilion. So Michael Douglas came and spent 2 days with us. And I have never been so impressed by a person and the way that he handles himself and interacts with others. So, we kind of live in a world of celebrity now, and I think people watch and consume celebrities in a way, and we've, with Hub Culture, tried to avoid celebrities because we've always been focused on the network and the people in the network, and that's what we've been focused on. We've not been focused on celebrity at all. But I'm working on some ideas with Michael around the America's Cup. And essentially what I want to do is have Zeek run a beach club for the America's Cup in Bermuda. So to be the first property governed by an AI. But in that conversation, he has a lot of ties to Bermuda, so he's been advising us. And I said to him, why don't you come to Davos and just see the hub and just be with us and understand how we work. And he very kindly came and he spent time with us. And every single person that he met, without fail, and there were many people, he was just gracious and kind. He always was happy to have a photograph. But more importantly than those things, which is sort of like maybe standard celebrity job, he sat and he listened. Like he was in our AI breakfast learning about artificial intelligence. He was asking questions about blockchain and figuring out how blockchain is going to affect Wall Street. He was just really present, right? And so I think that's actually the lesson that I would take from him. I left with so much respect for what he's done in his life and what he's accomplished, but he's so gracious and humble and kind, but all that is driven by presence. He seems to be very in the moment, not thinking about the past or the future, but just focused on what's right in front of him. I think that's a real kind of leadership and something I could learn from.
It's a powerful lesson. Sounds like quite a week. Last question for you.
Yeah.
Where can people get in touch with you and Zeek to participate?
Well, here's what we would love is we've just started asking questions, and we're really looking at deep questions because we're going to use APIs from Quora, Wikipedia, Google. So the general information will be a repository that Zeek can refer to. But we're really interested in the deeper questions. And so if you go to Zeek_AI, you can tell Zeek an answer to a question that it's asking over the next several months. And then, of course, we always say that Hub Culture is an emergent ecosystem that anyone can join. And that's at hubculture.com.
Thank you. Well, go out and participate, everyone. Should be fun. This was us in the Tradeshift Sanctuary in Davos, Switzerland. Thanks, Stan.
Thanks, Travis.